Hey everyone, my name is Arabella, and for this video assignment I will be talking about two passages. One from Valeria Luiselli's work, Tell Me How It Ends, which connects to her essay Border, and one from the American Immigration Council. And I picked these two because they hit on the more human side of immigration, and which is not just focused on like politics or numbers. So the first passage that I chose says it's not even the American dream that they pursue, but rather the more modest aspiration to wake up from the nightmare into which they were born. And I thought this was extremely powerful because I feel like it flips the way we usually hear about immigration. I feel like in general people always just tend to talk about people immigrating to the US for that American dream almost. But I feel like here she shows that like a lot of kids that were coming over here were doing that so they could get out of that dangerous and impossible situation that they were already living in. And to me, I just feel like it's easy for us to see immigration as kind of like this really big debate, whereas in reality for these kids it's actually about survival. And the second passage I picked is from the Immigration Council report, and it says that more than 16.7 million people share a home with at least one family member, often a parent who is undocumented. Roughly 6 million of these people are children under the age of 18. And to me, honestly, this number like really shocked me, knowing that there's 6 million kids in the US living with a family member that's undocumented, and knowing that they can be deported at any time just means that they're living with this constant stress in their life. And I just feel like this shows how like immigration policies, they just don't only affect the people that are crossing the border, but this goes beyond that, and it also just affects the families and even more so the communities. It kind of just affects everybody. So I feel like when you put both of these passages together, I feel like in Valeria's work she was showing us more of the emotional side of it, so like the kids having to leave just because of like the situation they were in, and I feel like the Immigration Council report shows us more of the numbers. And similarly, I feel like the Immigration Council report kind of shows us like how big this problem actually is. This also just reminded me of like current events with seeing like these kids being put into detention centers, parents being deported, and all of that type of situation. I feel like it was everywhere for a while and people just kept posting about it online all the time. But I feel like by reading these passages it kind of made me realize that just because it stopped being posted about online, just it didn't mean that anything was magically fixed. Like it was still an ongoing problem. Currently there's still a lot of families still dealing with this problem. Additionally, there were some kids that were never reunited with their parents, and then there were some kids that just had to grow up without their parents.